Hi guys, it's Nancy here and I'm back with my second video for my Hey Little Magpie blog post, and if you've caught my last video then you'll know that I'm using the Basic Grey Prism Collection pack and I'm trying to kill that kit and get as many layouts as I can done as possible. So I'm just pulling through the papers here. Some of them have already been cut up because I used them on my last layout, and I'm just kind of taking lots of bits and pieces that I've got here on my desk and kind of working out how I could possibly use these. To start with, I was going to use this piece of paper that reminds me of some tiles that my mum had or my grandma had, someone had in the house, and I was going to try and get that to work, but I found that the colours, the other sort of pattern papers really weren't popping enough because that background was so white and blue and just kind of merged in with everything else. So I did put those orange bits, which I gutted out from the middle of my last layout, but still wasn't really getting it to stand out enough. So I do end up swapping that out for this piece of paper, and deciding this is a piece of paper that I didn't overtly love. I'm going to say it wasn't one of my favourite patterns, but I really like the orange and how that picked up those bigger pieces of orange that I was going to include. So what I decided to do is turn this more into sort of a bit of a mixed media sort of layout. I'm just going to do a little bit of mixed media. So I'm just applying a little bit of my gesso. I do use quite a cheap gesso because I kind of like that it's thinner and you can add some layers up. I really just wanted to put a little bit down because I wanted to do some ink technique on here, and I knew that the paper was going to warp whatever, but if I did use a little bit of gesso it was less likely to warp. So I'm just putting that down and I'm just going to leave that to dry, and then I'm going in here with some of my watercolours, and these are just the Mr. Huey watercolours, and I kind of like where some of that paint goes onto the bit that isn't gesso, because there is a very sort of subtle change in kind of the saturation of that colour. I'm using my mini mister just to spray some water both onto the paper and into my paint palette, because I didn't have a some water, a pot of water, and as you can see I end up getting all over my desk, which doesn't help with, not letting the paper warp too much. I'm just kind of knowing vaguely where my photo and my clusters are going to go. I'm just adding that little bit of interest into the background. I do want to add a little bit of green, so I'm taking my peeled paint and I'm just using a tiny bag that I had on my desk, as organised as ever, and just squidging that onto the ink pad and putting a little bit of water on it, and yeah, not really sure where I was going with this, and just wanted to try and get a little bit of that green colour on there. I'm just going to dry that off and clean up my desk and other things like that because it was getting a little bit wet. And then I'm just going to add some Heidi Swap Colour Shine. This is the coral, and again it's just picking up that orange that's in the background. And then using some more of the teal. Again, I used this one on my last layout, and again just pulling out that turquoise from that background pattern paper. And I really like how this just adds that texture to the background but doesn't detract in any way from those background layers. So there you can see how that looked, because I did just add some stenciling over the top as well. Did just nip away to get some whiskey there, as you can see sitting on my desk. And I did outline everything again in the teal colour, just to make it all stand out a little bit. And so now I'm going to start to build up my layers, and again these is this huge variety of papers on here. I've got florals, I've got geometric bits, I've got little flowery bits. It's quite eclectic, but I really do like how this ended up coming out. I'm looking at lots of the border strips and different things that I had pulled out there, and so now I'm just gonna start building that up, and as always it never actually looks like what it did before I pulled everything up. So I am just going to have a bit of a play about here, and I do end up putting that photo down a little bit too low, so I'm going to end up moving that about eventually. But I do like how eventually I get the placement. As you can see, I do cover up a lot of that background design, but I know it's there and you saw it on the video, so hey, we all know it's there. Just looking through my album, you won't do. But I do, as I said, I do like how it does peek through the bottom there especially. So I'm just trying to sort out where I'm going to get this layer, and again I'm just moving my photo again. Just wanted to make sure that, you know, a little bit of pink and everything was showing all around the photo, even though that's only a tiny little bit. And as you can see, I did mount that paper up on another piece of the paper out of this collection pack, and that helped to give it a little bit of stability, but this is of course a little bit wrinkled because of the amount of water and things I used. So now I'm just going to take the sticker sheet. This is the 6x12 title stickers, I think they're called, and just creating them some layers with it, really, just starting to add some stickers down and some layers, not really thinking about it too much where I'm going to be putting things down, but just taking these stickers and cutting them apart and different things and trying to place them around the layout here. And I do really like how this layout comes out and all the little clusters and stuff that come out. And I probably added more kind of the stickers and different things than I would normally, because I was actually, you know, even though this is my second layout, I knew that I was going to have trouble using some of those stickers, so I kind of made a conscious effort to kind of stick them up and tuck them behind layers if I wasn't necessarily overly enamoured with them. So again, just taking another bit of the one of the border strips there and adding a little piece to the bottom. I did cut another piece off there, and I'm going to fiddle about with where to put that and end up, I don't think, sticking it on anything. I think it's actually still sitting on my desk as we talk now. So yeah, I'm going to budge around with that and then not end up adding it, and kind of knowing that it just wasn't going to work. Excuse me, I do seem to be texting during this video, which is a little bit rude. So yeah, I think I was actually texting my friend Emma whilst doing this layout, and as I said, I wasn't, you know, overly kind of like stressing and hurrying to get this done. I was just kind of like enjoying kind of flicking through everything that I had pulled out and trying to get it work. There's a lot of stickers on that sticker sheet, and I think I'm going to have a challenge actually using them all. I really like the designs, but I think you can kind of get a bit overwhelming if you use, you know, especially like that kind of quite iconic flower design on lots of different pieces. So I think I'm probably going to save some of those stickers and make a few cards and stuff like that for my stash. So I've just put one of those border stickers, just trimmed that down and put a bit that down there. Again, I've got some, just pulling out some stickers here and edging them all in that peacock feather. So these are these little arrows, and I'm putting them up the top there, and I really don't like them. I really did struggle. I wanted to use them up because they're quite a small sort of design element, and I couldn't really get them to work. So I'm just going to fudge around here a little bit. And again, I liked that one, but it had the word date on it, and I wasn't going to be putting the date there. There wasn't enough room, so I ended up just cutting the fishtail banner at the other end and tucking that behind that sort of label that I put there. So even though I couldn't use that sticker in the way that I originally wanted, it did work. You know, I did get it on there. I'm going to move these little arrows around so much, and I do end up just placing them at some different points on the layout. I'm going to kind of keep fiddling with those. I do like that one I put up there at the top, so I think I'm going to give up on one of them. So I'm now going through the die cut pack, and as I said in my last video, I really like these die cuts, and I think they can work really well. So I have just cut that one up so I can stick it at an angle there at the top, just to kind of help ground some more of the busier pieces. And then I'm using the other end of it and tucking it behind that sticker and layer there. And again, it's just kind of echoing that kind of jaunty angle. And as I said, I really like the craft mixed with these quite neon colours. I think that's a really nice way of looking. A nice way of looking? That made no sense. It's just nice looking. It's an interesting combination. That's what I meant. So just pulling out, as I go through here, anything that may or may not work. So this is a flower. and I'm not necessarily going to use it as a flower, but I can use it more as a circular element. I'm pulling out some transparency pieces here as well. I really did try to get as many transparency pieces used up early on, because I do struggle with getting transparency bits used up. So I'm just going through everything here and pulling it out. And again, that's a sort of larger, more tile element, which I think I'm going to struggle with. There was lots of acetate sort of transparency banners as well, with different words on. And that's what I did like. There was a real mix in this pack of, you know, words and banners and just shapes and stuff as well. I did have a little bit of an issue getting the plastic covering off those acetate pieces. So you might see me fiddle slightly with those. I'm just I'm alternating between my ATG and my wet glue to stick down the transparencies. To be fair, I should have used my ATG because it doesn't show as much, but at the end of the day, I'm not too fussed. So, just peeling some layers up and pulling them up and tucking different bits and pieces in. Again, I apologise that I was texting doing this. I really should have edited that out. My bad there. Again, I really like this bit, which this is a little sticker that says "Great Day." There's not an explicit title on this layout, and as I said in my first video for this blog post series, that the font that does come, the alphas and the font that comes with this collection pack, is the smaller Basic Grey alphas, which are great value because you get so many on there. But I normally like to use a larger letter, maybe a thicker as well. So I did struggle slightly with that. Here I had the idea of adding some string, which came in the tag pack, but no, don't quite know what I was thinking there. So I don't end up actually adding that on there. Here you can see the sticker sheet, and I'm just pulling off the stickers, and as I always do, stick them on my hand, and then go back and add them to the page. And without my poke tool, I've been at a great deal of difficulty because there's so many letters on there, so they are a little bit fiddly. I would say you don't get loads of each letter, but you do get a lot of alphas. You get 5 different, is it 5 or 6? You can get 6, I can't remember, it was just on the screen. But, you know, you get a lot of different colours and 2 different fonts, so they're a bargain. And if you do more minimalist layouts, I'd say, so ones on white cardstock, etc., that they'd probably stand out a lot better for you. But I do like my busier backgrounds and my busier papers, so they don't probably stand out as much as if I had a more minimalist style. So again, just pulling out some more of these to use for kind of another title stroke. Yeah, I suppose it is a title. So the top one is going to say Sunny Sunday, because it was extremely sunny unseasonal day. This was at the beginning of March, and we had a beautiful sunny Sunday. It was hot, it was beautiful blue skies, and so me and my boyfriend actually went out down to Pin Mill, which is kind of a beautiful scenic kind of estuary bit near where we live, and I said it looked beautiful and lovely in these photos. Probably about 2 hours later, after we'd eaten, it was dropping down rain. But the reflections and the blue sky are beautiful. I love this photo. And again, these photos were just taken on my iPhone, but I really love how they came out. So I've just put that little title there at the top. And again, there's that one at the bottom saying Pin Mill, which is its destination, where we were. I have pulled these little wood veneers out from my stash. Well, they're actually just on my desk. And I decided to add those in just as another texture to this layout. It was quite flat. I intentionally didn't buy the chipboard pieces that went with this collection because I want to try and reduce the thickness of my albums. But I really love these wood stars mixed in with the acetate, especially where the acetate pieces overlap that one on the top. I really love how that came out. And, you know, adding a couple of wood veneers to my stash is not too much. Again, just looking at the homemade sort of enamel dots that I have, and just looking at placing some of those around. And again, they were really kindly sent to me by Sharon, and I've had them quite a while now, quite a few months, probably about 7 or 8 months, and I've not even made a dent in most of them. The black ones and the white ones I've made dents in, but these other ones have still got plenty left. So that is this layout. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will be back with some more videos in this series this week, and so I'll speak to you all again soon. So thank you very much guys for watching. Bye!